morning, students. In our last class we have discussed about what is fungi, what are the general characteristic features and the classification of fungi, and also the economic importance of fungi. Now coming to the type study, individual type study. Here first let us consider the primitive fungi, that is albigo. Okay, albigo, it is commonly occurring on the members of the family Crucifers. Crucifers means the radish. Good example is radish. Here you are observing the delicate, the white, circular, the spots which appear on the Raphanus sativus leaf, okay, and these are commonly called as pustules, and the name of the disease is white rust disease. Okay, now coming to the in detail the mycelium structure and the mode of reproduction and the vegetative body of the albigo. Here the albigo, it is belonging to the division Mycota, as you know, and the subdivision is Eumycotina, class Oomycetes, order Peronosporellus, family Albuginaceae, and the genus is albigo, species Candida. Together, albigo candida is called Cystopus candidus. Albigo, it is represented by about 30 species and they are all widely distributed. They usually infect the members of the family Cruciferae, mustard, okay, and Raphanus sativus, okay, and the members of the Compositae, Tridactes, Sunflower, etc. 18 Indian species are known, among which the most common species albigo candida, commonly called as Cystopus candidus. It parasitizes, it is a parasite on the members of the Cruciferae like radish, turnip, cabbage and mustard. It causes white rust disease, white blisters which appear on the leaf lamina, okay, and it is commonly called as white rust disease. Now coming to the symptoms of the disease. The fungus infects mainly the aerial parts of the plant such as petioles, leaves, stems, flowers and fruits. In the early stages, rust-like, okay, reddish rust-like white, shiny, irregular pustules appear on the lower surface of the leaf. It also spreads on the upper surface of the leaves and stems. In the later stages, all the pustules, they coalesce, they unite each other, coalesce and form a large, irregular, erupted pustules. The host epidermis get ruptured and the white powdery mass comes out on the aerial part. The infected parts of the host become abnormal and the abnormality may be in the form of fleshiness, hypertrophy or distortion. The leaves, the infected part of the leaves, they become fleshy, okay, and they are all get distortion. The green pigment which get disappear. The infected parts of the host become thick and fleshy, and the stem is malformed. The stem which becomes abnormally thickened. Next, what happens? The deformation in the flowers. Flowers, they are not completely formed. Okay? Deformation in the flowers and fruits of the host. And the inflorescence of the plants. Okay? They also get infected, and they are commonly called as stag heads. Infected inflorescence axis of the plants, they are called as stag heads. Actually, the infection takes place through the stomata of the sepals, petals, stamens, and the carpels are converted into thick, fleshy structures. Here the reproductive structures, stamens and carpels, they become thick and fleshy. The infected flowers become sterile. All the infected flowers, they become sterile. The growth of the entire plant is stunted. Okay, short plants appear, stunted growth. Now, when you take the cross section of the infected leaf, in the second figure, vegetative structure, you will clearly observe the mycelium. Okay, mycelium of albigo is well branched, aseptate. Here, elongated, thin tubular structures without any cross walls are called aseptate, and sinuosity. The hyphal wall is composed of chitin. The hyphal wall, the wall of the hypha, is composed of chitin, and the cytoplasm is granular and contains many nuclei. And other structures like vacuoles, oil globules and glycogen, they are all present. The fungus grows in the intercellular spaces of the host tissue, and it is called intercellular hypha. And at the terminal part of these hypha, they produce knob-like structures, okay, and they get to enter into the host cells, and they are commonly known as hostorium. Okay, knob-like structures which are entering into the host cells. Okay, they are called as hostoria. The hostorium is differentiated into the stalk, basal stalk, and the head. It is differentiated into stalk and head. In the hostorial head, the cytoplasm is dense. In the hostorial head, the cytoplasm is dense and packed with mitochondria, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, lipid inclusions, nuclei are absent. Base of the hostorium is surrounded by a collar-like sheath, okay, which is actually the extension of the host cell wall. This is all regarding the vegetative structure of the hyphae as well as the haustorium. Okay. Now coming to the reproduction. In albigo, reproduction takes place. There are two methods by means of asexual and sexual methods. First coming to asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place by multinucleate the rounded or spherical bodies known as conidia, sporangia or zoosporangia. The reproductive asexual mode of reproduction takes place by conidia, sporangia or zoosporangia. These structures develop in long chains on short, erect, club-shaped structures called conidiophores. The stalk-like structures which are present, okay, they are called as conidiophores. By means of water or wind currents, and they undergo a period of rest, and then the sporangia develop by means of the constriction methods. In between the two sporangia, a gelatinous pad develops acting as the separator. The sporangia, they set apart from each other. It is a smooth, double-walled, rounded. When the sporangia are formed in abundance on the sporangiophores or conidiophores, okay, the pressure caused the host epidermis ruptures and hundreds of conidia or sporangia are get formed in the form of a chain over the conidiophore, and it appears in the form of the creamy powder which is forming the pustules, rounded pustules. Then the spores, the sporangiophores or the conidia, they get transferred from one place to another place by means of wind or insects or water, etc. On maturation, the sporangium, the protoplast of the sporangium get cleaved, which is get divided into uninucleate protoplasts. Each protoplast metamorphoses into a naked, biflagellate, uninucleate, kidney-shaped and vacuolate zoospore. The sporangium which gets burst open anteriorly, all the zoospores, they get liberate in the form of film, thin layer of water, the flagella are get detached and the zoospores, they become encysted. The protoplast of the zoospore produces a germ tube. On the surface of the suitable host which gets developed, the germ tube enters through stomata, develops into new mycelium and spread in the form of they get entered in the form of thin elongated thread-like structure in the intercellular spaces of the host tissue. Sometimes sporangia behave as conidia and germinate directly, producing germ tubes. It is first the sporangia, they get divided, the protoplast of the sporangia get divided, cleaved and forming the biflagellated zoospores. Okay. Sometimes what happens, the sporangia itself behave as the conidia and directly germinate by producing the germ tubes. So, this is all regarding the general features, symptoms and the reproduction, asexual mode of reproduction. Now, next coming to the sexual mode of reproduction. Okay.